Hey everybody, welcome to another episode, our second of 8 is Enough. My name's Ira, and this is
Alicia.
And she's the one who says 8 is enough. I actually say strive for 9, but
don't get in that camp. I'm getting strive for 9 from people. I'm getting 9 is fine. No.
Yeah, well, if y'all don't know, we have 8 kids. I need to watch more TV. Anyways, I'd like 9. I'd actually like 10, maybe. 10 is like a perfect number. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to give me a couple dogs.
I know. No, it's not. This body is tired.
We're getting old, y'all, so maybe that's not wise for us to be doing that stuff anyways.
We'll see.
But...
Hey, if God has another plan, then...
Oh, we'll take it.
Yeah,
it's all good. Anyways, I'm sitting in a new chair. I'm kind of excited. I don't know if you can tell. Like
Darth Vader.
Yeah, last week. So our office, we share an office, but we sit at different desks. In fact, most of the time we can't even see each other because of the big banner wall behind me. And I hide that because behind all that is Scentsy stuff. Like my wife has got thousands and thousands and thousands of things from Scentsy. That might be a slight exaggeration, but yeah, I'm prone to.
And it's actually not a bad display. A lot.
No, it looks great. It's just
when from so far back, it doesn't look as good.
Yeah, well, I create graphics for a living, so people don't necessarily want to see all that busy stuff behind me. But when people come, over and they want to see Scentsy products, it's great display case, and we've got LED lighting in there, and it looks really good. So it just kind of, it depends on what you're looking for, I guess. But I also have. The banner is up right now because we're not using a green screen, but I actually have a green screen underneath the banner, so I can drop the banner wall and do my green screen stuff when I'm making videos. So this office is fun. But anyways, I get to the chairs because last week my wife was in a chair that like the hydraulics don't work, so she's all the way down. And so I sunk down, and if you look at it, it's like we were nothing but like neck up, and there was all this space above us. It was really kind of funny. But anyways, just put this new chair together like 30 minutes before the show started.
And it looks like Darth Vader.
It really does. So here, let me show you what she's talking about. You know what I mean? Like
he scooted over earlier, and like I just saw Darth Vader.
It has
and I'm not even a Star Wars fan.
It has a pillow for my neck. It has a back massager pillow in it, which is sweet. And then my wife was laughing at me because the chair it reclines, and it's got a foot thing that I can pull out and put my feet up. So
it's going to be hard to have strive for 9 because he's never going to leave the office.
Yeah, she was teasing me like, you're never coming to the bedroom at night because I work long hours anyways. So now I'm going to be more comfortable in my chair.
He's just going to be like, I'll just sleep for a few minutes, put his chair back.
I'll take a cat nap.
He used to do that when he was in college, when he was finishing his degree. I just find him passed out in the chair, and it wasn't comfortable, but now he's got a comfort chair.
I was actually talking to Lily. Yeah, I was talking to Lily. I had to think which
Our daughter.
one of our kids, right? Which one was it that I was talking to? It was Lily. I was talking to her, and I said, I think this is the first time I've ever bought myself a new chair. I've always had hand-me-downs or.
Didn't we buy the one that I have, and then one of the kids broke the hydraulics
That's
like a month later, and
That's
it was
nice.
like, really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because I remember being like, we just bought that.
Yeah. Anyways, strive for now. So what are we doing here? Some people, you might be wondering, like, okay, we got 9 or 10 people on LinkedIn, and we're on Facebook and YouTube, by the way, as well. What are we going to do? Well, it's kind of a 3-in-1 show, and we're trying to educate and entertain at the same time. So we're always going to have anecdotal stories. 20 years of marriage, being married to me, frankly, there are plenty. Some that we won't share because, I don't want to embarrass myself too much, but,
Or me.
We'll try to be, like real, but also keep in mind that this is on LinkedIn, right? So there's going to be some of that. So we'll have banter. We'd like to tease each other. If I like you, I tease you. That's just pretty much how it rolls with me. And
it's amazing.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Anyhow, but also because it's a business platform, LinkedIn is my primary platform. You guys get tips from me all the time, business to business tips. Well, my wife has been doing business to consumer sales via Scentsy for 5 years plus. And then before that, she also was a hairstylist, Vidal Sassoon trained stylist. So she's been doing that for a long time, as long as I've been with her and even more. And she sold H2O at home, I think is the name of the product. Yeah. And Cookie Lee. And what was the other one?
No, I dabbled in Mary Kay. But
all right. She dabbled in Mary Kay, but that was before me. So anyways, so she's got some experience.
And I sold men's
suits
when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Well, menswear.
I sold sandwiches at Togo's. I don't count that, but whatever. Okay. So this is how it goes, folks. You have questions about business to consumer sales, questions about business to business sales. We're going to be talking about that stuff. And you might have noticed from the branding. So everybody knows I own Bowman Digital Media. Well, frankly, technically, we are 50-50 owners in it, but I'm also a partner in Scentsy. So for whatever that's worth, I think I've done
my name
something
for both of us, vice versa,
Yeah, whatever. We're partners in life. So here we be. And Madeline, you got the idea, man. If we're not making you laugh, then we're doing something wrong. So that's really kind of the goal here.
You got to be able to laugh through life, man.
But education, entertainment, anecdotal stories. Some people go like, what's it like to raise 8 kids? Well, we can tell you. We've been there the whole time. So they're not adopted. And we did it on purpose, sort of. Some of them more than others.
Some were more planned than others. Always welcome. Sometimes a surprise, though.
Always excited about it. Sometimes nervous. The twins were the game changer for us. But anyways, so we'll talk about all this stuff. And if you have questions, of course, we would love to have you ask our questions. I don't know who this is because it's saying LinkedIn user and there's no picture, but good night. Wherever you're from, you're probably over there in Europe, I would guess, at this time. But yeah. So anyways, this is the time we're on. Now, if you miss a live, it's okay. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can watch it later. I have followers all over the world. I'm not trying to brag or anything. It's just, I do. And so every time zone I pick, or every time I pick, is bad for some time zone. But like right now, it's actually 6:39 in India in the morning, 6:39 a.m. So we might be picking up some of the India crowd that we would normally miss. But Europe is going to sleep right now. So good night. And we'll see you tomorrow. You guys pretty much get up and get going when I'm getting ready to go to bed. It's really funny because I see all the good morning stuff from the UK and from Spain and all these places. And I'm like, man, I need to go to sleep, but I want to say hi to my friends. So that's why I never sleep. Anyways. So
I sleep enough for both of us, though. So.
Well, somebody's got to get it. That's why you're cuter than me. Okay. So here's the deal. We're going to do something new. We didn't do this last time. We did talk about Scentsy. We're always going to have multi-level marketing stuff because that's I hate to say untapped, but it's really an underserved market on LinkedIn. And multi-level businesses has a bad rap, a stigma that I do want to kind of help eradicate. There's a huge difference because a lot of times people think pyramid scheme and MLM are synonymous, and they're not. MLM is legal and good opportunities. Companies like Avon, Tupperware, Sensi, many, many more are MLM companies. It's a style of management. It's a style of pay, but it's not illegal. It's not immoral. There's nothing snake oil salesman about it. Okay. So, for example, my grandmother and my mom's best friend both made a living for a long time. In fact, my aunt, who passed away in 2020, was in Avon sales, I think, for 35 years, if I have my math right. Something like that. Almost my whole life. Okay. Owned a home, never cheated anybody, clients for decades. Anyways, Avon, that's an MLM company. A lot of people don't talk about it, so they don't realize that that's what that is. Tupperware, same thing. My mom sold Tupperware. My sister's best friend, we actually call her, I call her my sister. We're not related by birth, but she's Auntie Laura, so anyway, she sells Tupperware. It's kind of a funny story. I did share this last time. She sells Tupperware in Las Vegas. When we were broke, which is a lot of part of our, we have a lot of kids. Did we mention that? We have 8 kids. When we were broke, which is pretty much, most of our marriage, I invited Laura over to buy some Tupperware.
But why? Why did we?
Because I love Tupperware.
No. What happened the night we moved in Vegas?
Cockroaches.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a funny story.
I was ready to move.
There's a funny story. So we rented our home in Henderson, if you know the area. So we're in Henderson. My wife didn't grow up with cockroaches like I did. I grew up in the desert. So cockroaches to me is a different thing. A lot of you see cockroaches.
I don't know I'd ever seen one. Really.
You think they're nasty and stuff, and they are. But anyways, they live in the desert. If you move to Vegas, you're going to have cockroaches. Kind of like here in the Inland Empire, we have ants. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to have ants because we live on like 40 square miles of an ant hill and everybody shares the ants. It is what it is. So we turned on the backyard light, flipped on the light switch, pitch black, turned on the light, and it was like the concrete and the rock was water.
It was moving. The whole ground was moving.
Like waves and waves of cockroaches, like unbelievable. And so
everything had to go into Tupperware.
Everything. So I bought a bunch. I want to say it was $450.
I think it might have been $500 or $600. It was
maybe by the time I was done. Anyways, I went nuts on the Tupperware. So anyhow, that's also an example of an MLM
sidebar. That was just a
that's right. Story. So we're gonna do. Oh my, the roaches I saw growing up in Greece. Yeah, see, I've never been to Greece, so I don't know. But I can tell you, in Las Vegas, the older the neighborhood is, it seems the more there are too.
But that neighborhood wasn't even that old.
That neighborhood was not that old. You know where that is? That's over if you guys are following the Raider stuff, and I don't know why anybody would follow the Raider stuff. They're 8-8, but anyways, who knew? The Raiders' new practice facility. We used to live right. I mean, you could throw a stone and hit it. That's where it is. Like if you're looking at Vegas as a clock, it's the 6 o'clock. Really like the 5:30, but anyways, who's keeping track? So like the 5:30 to the 6, that's where we were.
And it was a nice neighborhood. It was a very nice neighborhood.
My buddy Jairus. Yeah. What's up, Jairus? I see Jairus on LinkedIn. I see him on Clubhouse. In fact, Jared is the guy who sponsored me so I could actually join. Thank you, Jairus. And Jairus is coming up on my show. I've got a show on Mondays called Marketing Mondays with Ira Bowman, and Jairus is going to join me. We're going to talk. He and I have been connected for a couple of years on LinkedIn. Really love his. He's a real guy. He's hustling out there. He's an entrepreneur. He's working and he's trying to help other people along the way. So I'm going to have him on the show, and we'll talk about his journey and that stuff. But anyways, just wanted to give him a shout out since I saw him here on the show. And I talk to him a lot now because of Clubhouse. So it's kind of fun. If you haven't joined Clubhouse yet, Clubhouse is a different kind of social media. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all this stuff, it seems like it's meant for the masses. Like you make a post, you create a video, and you want 1 million people to see it, right? You want to go viral. Clubhouse, there is no viral. There is no posting. What you do is it's kind of like a conference room, but it's a bunch of different conference rooms. So you decide what topic is interesting to you, and you join in a room, and then they can't see you, but they could hear you, and you can talk to each other in the room. And so you have different conversations. It's a lot of fun, but it is more, what am I trying to say? It's more intimate, business intimate, but intimate. You know what I mean? And if you're not there, you're not there. You can't participate if you're not there. You have to be there. So got to be careful. It's addictive. It's called Clubhouse. Haven't heard of it. Anyways, but you got to have an iPhone right now. It's an Apple product because it's a smaller organization and they're still in beta testing and growing their business to keep up with the volume. But it's really, really popular. You see people talking about it on LinkedIn pretty much all day, every day right now. So we teased last time, transition here. We teased last time a story that my wife is going to share. It's going to make me turn the color of her shirt probably, but that's okay. If you didn't know it, I'm a goofball. And anyways,
Sometimes insensitive.
I learn things as I go. You know what I mean? Like there are no accidents. There are no mistakes. There's happy accidents. Jim Ross, right? I think so. Anyways, the trees is what I was thinking there. Little happy accidents, right?
I have no idea, honey.
No, you watched the show,
The what?
the painting show.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
painting and he
Bob
says,
Ross. Yeah.
there's no accident. So I said Jim Ross. Yeah, Bob Ross. Anyhow, okay. So we teased the tennis ball story. It's amazing. You're all gonna love it. And let's see, we got Batman talking to cybersecurity dude. Ron Craig is my Canadian cyber connection friend. I actually made a new connection today. In Sam Gupta had a Zoom room that I was on earlier this afternoon. I want to say it was SMS, something, I don't know. Anyways, there was a chat room and there was a guy there from Canada, and he was also in cybersecurity. So he reminded me of you a little bit, Ron, just because of that. And now they're talking to each other because we're all friends. Okay. So I'm going to let my wife embarrass me a little bit and tell this story because, that's kind of what you're here for. Some entertainment. So take it away, Alicia.
Get the popcorn. No. All right. So let's go back 18 and a half years ago.
But who's counting?
No. But yeah. Like I should maybe let it go after 18 years, but
Well,
there's other stories that haven't been let go. So
we can talk about the cake.
Yeah, we won't talk about the cake. So we were expecting our first daughter, Marlena, and
our Sue mommy.
And at that time, actually, he was working a lot. Can you imagine? No. He was actually selling cars, and
hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
I signed up for the maternity classes, right, and labor and delivery, Lamaze type thing. One of the things that they said is to pack tennis balls. Okay. Oh, but he was working, so he didn't go.
I have never taken a single Lamaze class. 8 kids.
So I only ever took the one. I gave up. And so
you got to have a partner who has a heart.
And so, you're going into this, like, especially the first birth, because our oldest actually is not physically from me. And so I come back and I'm trying to tell him some of this stuff. And he's working a lot, whatever. And so I packed my bag, and one of the things they said to pack was tennis balls, because if you have back labor, your partner can rub your back with a tennis ball and do counter pressure and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the things they can do.
That's one of the things they can do. No, not my husband. He grabs the tennis ball out of the bag.
Now, hang on a second.
And let me just
my whole life, I've known what a tennis ball is for.
Okay. And I was induced because my water had broken. So I was having hard labor, like for a long time. It was a long labor, over 24 hours. Right?
Every time.
Yeah, well, pretty much every time. I meant to keep babies in, not let them out. And so he grabs the tennis balls.
There was 2.
And he starts bouncing them. And did you throw them against the wall too?
Heck yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah. It's sort of a blur because, when you're in that much agony.
Now, first of all, there's technique.
I hadn't had drugs yet.
You hit the wall, it bounces on the floor, and then you catch it. And that's how you do proper tennis ball technique.
But imagine that.
While you're in labor.
You're in labor, immense pain, no pain meds. And you're hearing, da-dunk, da-dunk. And he's over there doing whatever.
Mad skills, baby.
That was awful. But let's then go back. Let's go to that same episode of pregnancy. Then you're having really strong contractions. Mm-hmm. And all he's enthralled with is the machine that that's measuring them.
I'm fascinated
And
by the
he's on, okay, we had the camcorder type
this
thing
is
back
not
then.
tennis ball, but okay.
Yeah, okay, I had to digress. Because I thought about this as I thought about the tennis ball. All these horrible stories just, come up. And so he's on our little camcorder and documenting this
actual tape.
Yeah, little tapes. And he's then zooming in on this machine.
That's a good one.
And yeah. And I'm in the bed. He's not paying attention.
Not at all. I'm watching.
And the numbers are going up and up. And I'm like holding onto the railing in pain. And then he says, "Ooh, this is a good one." Who says that? And then he flashes over to my face, and I'm like, Yeah. Should I tell the?
First of all, no, we can save that for another time because that's a good story too. But here's the thing. Yeah, a lot of our stories. Remember that time you were pregnant? But in my defense, I can't be that bad. You keep having more kids with me. This is the first time I was trying to tell the story the other day. I was like, I was talking about sales tactics at home, and I think it was Joe Stepke and Damon were like, sales techniques don't work at home. And I'm like, yes, they do. There's lots of sales techniques that work at home. I have 8 kids. I mean,
sometimes.
Well, this is where I was saying it. I said, like, this is the one time for the last 6 years I haven't been able to seal the deal. I haven't been able to, close the deal. Other times you've been, I'm not having another baby.
Well,
and I still, was able to.
We actually did lose one, so it hasn't been quite.
It's been more than that, but yeah.
But no, but in the last 6 years. So,
yeah.
So there's a little, but
true. But I
think it's because my body's just getting old, honey. Don't take it personally. You're still all that. I
can still sell. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, that's the tennis ball story. Hope you liked it. Okay. So let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about strategies now. We're going to do business to business tips and business to consumer tips. I'm actually going to give you a little bit of a break so you can think about one if you want to give one, maybe for groups, or if you need advice, let me know, or, an idea to talk about. What I'm going to talk about, and this can actually work for both. I'm pretty sure it will, but you can talk about the merits of this if you want. I have seen a lot of questions or a lot of debating going on about automation and about messages en masse. And it's not that automation is evil and can't work. I'm going to tell you a couple examples to just help people who think you can't automate anything. That's false. You can automate stuff, and you can automate stuff very successfully. Let me give you a couple examples just so you can see it with me. You're driving down the highway from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. You're headed there. This happens to us every time. You're looking at billboards. Guess what billboards are? They're messages en masse. It's the same message. You drive by it, and and it's telling you about the hotel room, or it's telling you about the sports team, or it's telling you about, this mall or this show. Lots of shows in Vegas, right? So, or this restaurant, or stop at this casino on State Line, because about Vegas, about, all the major resorts. You don't necessarily know that you can go and hit these right at the State Line. There's 4 different resorts that you can hit, right? Go to Prim, go to State Line, and there they are, right? And why do you go there? Well, it tells you why. You can eat for $5.99, and you can have a hotel room for $29, kind of like Vegas 30 years ago, right? So there's these, and it works, but that's just one example, right? Now think about Google Ads. What do we do with Google Ads? That's automation. That's 100% automation. You're searching for digital media or social media coaching or whatever, and Bowman Digital Media comes up. Well, that's automated because I'm paying Google Ads to do this for me, right? In sales and business to business sales, I used to be what you would term a drip email campaign author. So in other words, I would write a series of messages that I would send out or distribute through a CRM en masse at certain times, right? But And those are very successful. They work very, very well. I've fed my family for 20 years doing this stuff. Okay. And helping other people with theirs too, by the way. But the thing that I always did was I made those custom messages for me. So I wasn't like using an app or a software program and saying, okay, out of the box, or when you download the application, here's a series of messages pre-written that you can use. A lot of people, unfortunately, are just taking that pre-written message, and they might be changing a word or two, but they're not changing it enough where it's unrecognizable. And here's what happens, right? Just on LinkedIn alone. Think about any other platform, but just LinkedIn alone for me. I'm getting 30, 40, 50 messages every day that are almost verbatim exactly the same thing, because you're using the same automation program that everybody else is using. And I posted some examples on a post on LinkedIn earlier this week, which was kind of funny because everybody recognizes them. You may not get them in the volume that I do. You might get them more than I do. Who knows? But whatever. What you want to do if you're going to automate is you want to make it more custom. So it's just coming from you. So it doesn't matter. You get the message. It says what it says, but you've never read it before. You know what I mean? That's what you want. Now, personally, if you have the time, I would love, and I don't automate anything, just so you know. So right now, I don't even have my Google ads turned on. I turned them off. Everything you read from me, every post, every comment, every share, every like, I'm there in that moment doing that thing. And my wife will tell you, that's why I sit in this, well, not this chair, actually. I was sitting in that chair till a half hour ago. But that's why I sit here a lot. And then when I'm not sitting here, what am I doing? I'm using my smart devices. So this is the one thing that a lot of people haven't figured out. Like, Ira, how do you do social media 16 hours a day? Well, we have tablets and smartphones. You know what I mean? So anyways, I get paid to do social media. If you guys don't know that, that's my job. You're doing your job 8 hours a day. Well, my job 8 hours a day is social media, and then even more than that, right? Because I don't get paid by the hour. So automation is not necessarily a bad thing. What automation is intended to do is to help you get more tasks done in a day so that you can filter through prospects, but you got to do it in a smart way. The thing I want to really emphasize, and I posted about it earlier today, it needs to be authentic communication. It needs to be not from the we perspective, but from the they perspective. What is it that they want to hear? What's going to interest them? How can you help them? Don't tell everybody how great you are. Oh, I've got 200,000 followers on LinkedIn. Nobody gives a rip. You know what I mean? What they want to know is, what can Bowman Digital Media do for them? Why should they even care? And don't play fast and loose with things. Like, don't pull a fast one. I got a message earlier today. It said urgent, capital letters, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I read the message, and you know what's in there? A freaking spam. Well, guess what I did? I deleted it and I unconnected with the guy. That's not urgent. That is being unauthentic. You have to be authentic, right? That's what people crave, especially right now. It's even more important now than ever before because we're all separated and isolated, and it's becoming an era of separation. You know what I mean? So people crave authentic, personal communication. They don't want to be sold. They don't want to feel like they're a part of a herd. It doesn't mean you can't use things in mass. It just means you have to craft it well. If you need help crafting things like that, that's something that you can actually pay me to help, or others. Or again, just don't use the templates. That will help you big time, because the word selection, your words, your vocabulary words are different than everybody else's. And the way, like, even if you're using the same words, you're going to put together. My wife and I have been married for 20 years. She can finish my sentences most of the time. But even her, when she's creating a message from scratch, it's going to read different than the way I'm going to say it. And a lot of it's the attitude behind it. She's going to be softer, and I'm going to be more like in your face, honestly.
You know, but the funny thing is what I was thinking right off the bat that I would talk about actually goes really well with that.
Perfect. I'm going to let you take over.
So the thing I thought about is, in my business, is relationship. It's a relationship business, and building that relationship. And when you're automating, so much, you lose that. And people are craving that interaction, especially now. Ask my kids. I spent 18 minutes on the phone.
That's a funny story.
With the Kaiser lady. The lady called to book an appointment, and my kids hear me talking, and like, who was that? Because we talked for 18 minutes about family, about all sorts of stuff. And I guess we're both craving some interaction, right? So
a real person.
A real person. Yeah, they thought it was like my mom or something. No, it was just the lady calling to book an appointment. And I actually do use some automation. And one of the things, since we've moved a lot, I've had to find new ways to connect, because I used to drop stuff off and I would spend the time at their door. Well, I don't live close to you now. And I found I was losing business because I wasn't keeping that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And as I heard my husband talk about before, is having touches and having, and I actually did learn that term from him, but like having multiple connections or times that you're touching somebody. So, and that's in some of our training with Sensi too, is follow up and those types of things. So I've had to create new ways to, that sounds really weird, touch people. But I actually have an app called Amy. Is that my phone? Yeah. It's my phone ringing. That we have automated messages, but once again, they are bad. Like somebody like you just haven't even talked to, like an old customer prospect that you entered in, and you're supposed to like message them, say, what's bringing you joy right now? Send it. Like if I received that, I'd be like, okay, creepy.
Send that to me. Watch what I do.
And so, you know what, but I use it. I use it to thank customers. I use it to let them know, you know, hey, I know it's been a while. How are you liking your products? I haven't heard from, you know, it's like over time, it actually prompts me, hey, this person hasn't ordered in 3 months. Why don't you check in with them? But I have a different message, and I let them know what's going on right now. What specials do I have? One of the things that, you know, especially because the MLMs and those types of things do get that bad image sometimes, is I don't want people feeling like I'm always pushing product on them.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I can tend to not want to follow up because I don't want people to feel that way.
Let me.
But it's also good customer service to let people know what sales are going on and what products are coming out, because it's awful when you hear later, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I failed.
100%. Let me pop in right there, because this works for both. Your communications, whether it's a post, whether it's a message, whether it's a text, whether it's a phone call, you should be doing both. You should be doing some advertising, if you will, right? You can call it what you want. It's marketing. You're letting them know about your products and service and specials. That's important. Your clients want to know that stuff. But also, there should be touches, as I call them, that are not business related, even if it's just what I call rapport building. You'll hear me use that expression all the time. Joe Stepke and I, great example. Joe is a client for Joe, the finance guy, of Bowman Digital Media. There are times where I reach out to him and I'm like, hey, dude, blah. Or he'll reach out to me, hey, dude, although he doesn't call me dude. Hey, Ira, I need fill in the blank, right? That's not a personal touch. That's a business touch. And we have to do that. He's my vendor. Wait, I'm his client. He's my vendor. Yeah, no. He's my client. I'm his vendor. That's how we say it. But we're also LinkedIn besties. We're good friends. We talk to each other.
More than you talk to me.
Sometimes. Anyways.
No offense, Joe. We love you.
Yeah, we love Joe. I love Joe. But here's the thing. Sometimes I'll text him something silly, or he'll text me something silly. You know, it is what it is. So phone calls out of the blue, just to say hello or to check in. Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Just wanted to see how you're doing. That's a good thing, because then people don't feel like, oh, the only time, if I see Alicia's on my phone, well, I'm going to take it. She's my wife, right? But if I see Joe, right? If I see Joe calling me, I'm not just going to assume it's a business call, right? And sometimes we'll do that too when we answer the phone, like, hey, dude, I'm in the middle of something, but what do you need? You know what I mean? Like because we know, right? But
wait, you take his calls in those moments?
I do sometimes. It depends. Don't get me in trouble, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little different now because I'm sitting here. It's not like
Yeah, but
before.
in the same realm, you know what? I do try to remember like what scents my customers like. Hey, you know what? I think you would like this scent. It's not always easy.
Well, that's a great use for CRMs, right? CRMs, if you don't know, contact record management is what CRM stands for. All kinds of different ones out there: Pipeline, Salesforce, HubSpot. I mean, there's all kinds of them. Motidash is not Motidash. Ideal software. Ideal has one. I mean, there's all kinds of CRMs out there that you can use, and that's the kind of stuff that you should be using it for. When's the last time you contacted them? How did you contact them? What did you talk about? And then preferences like birth dates or how many kids they have. Anytime they share personal stuff about, you know, maybe a sports preference or whatever, like Joe Stepke is not really a sports guy. But if you press him hard, he's from Chicago, so he's going Chicago teams, right? But I know he likes Batman more than Superman. You know what I mean? I know his wife is a New York Italian, and I know she married a Polak. Boom. That's a story I want to hear. I want to hear more about the Polak story. Anyways, Jen, don't be shy. We want you on the show. We'll let Joe on too. Joe and Jen.
But I think those things all add value to people working with you. And so that's something I've definitely worked on. Working right now on some customer appreciation stuff. I started a newsletter that I get samples out to people that have been ordering recently, all those types of things, just to build that relationship, keep them thinking about me. Because sometimes, truthfully, people order from me and I don't have any real rapport. If they ordered online,
right,
and it's like, I can't now just start a weird conversation like, tell me about yourself. Sometimes people will say something, oh, I'm sorry, I was busy with my kids. Oh, how many kids do you have? I had that happen just last week. Somebody's like, oh, sorry, I got busy homeschooling. Oh, how long have you been homeschooling? And I could connect with her then because I had homeschooled. And so I commiserated with her in some ways. I'm like, oh, I know how hard that is.
So
you know,
Joe is interesting because I forgot. He buys stuff for me too.
He does. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Iron Man.
Yeah. So he's been on my mailing list, and
I was trying to get him to maybe take one of these. I said maybe I'll send him one for his birthday. Joe Tober. His birthday's in October.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, he does some fun stuff.
And he's 50. He's a freaking old.
You know what that reminds me of?
27.
27.
That's another story.
That's a whole nother story. We'll have to take notes.
Yeah, we could share the 27 story. We should actually start writing this down. So pardon me while I grab a piece
or
of
you'll all have to remind us, you know, like, hey, you never shared that.
Actually, the 27 story is one of the more funny ones. Like, I'm not embarrassed about that one. It's just hilarious.
I still laugh at you about it.
All right, so it was 27. What was the other one?
The shoulders.
Oh, the shoulders. That's a quick one.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous. So you guys are going to lose all respect for me. But that's okay. If you had any to start with.
Oh, we didn't talk about the cake either.
We won't talk about the cake.
Yeah.
That's when
he's still
That's when I'll
bitter.
get pissed off about.
He's still
not really pissed, but I have issues. I need to let that go. Anyways.
21 years this year, babe.
I know. That's what's funny. I keep laughing. So Joe, I actually said this wrong last time. Joe and Jen have been married now for 21 years because they got married. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Joe. It was January 1st of 2000, I think. But I know it was January of 2000. Anyways, we got married in June. So all I have to remember is it before or after June and what year is it? That's how long we've been married. So right now it's before June. Wait a minute. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Yeah, I'm like, great. You're going to offend people by calling 50 old.
It is what it is. I remember that's about a 27-year-old. Yeah, so I got that right. So that's pretty cool. And the world was supposed to say, can you just hit end on that thing? Yeah, I got it right. Okay. So what was I trying to say? Oh, yeah. So for us, like in June, our marriage, we could buy a beer. Whatever.
He's really fascinated by that. He loves
it's just kind of funny.
He's really geeking out.
But I remember when my high school diploma could buy a beer. And I thought that was funny too. Yeah, so they've been married a few years more than that. Steve is a drummer too, which is super cool. And they live in Santa Barbara. See, this is the type of stuff that I want you guys to know about your clients and your friends, right? Like,
excuse me,
Marielle and Steve, Greek, music, drums. She does fraud. She helps people with fraud risk assessments, and Steve is a musician. So when you start, and Mariala and I have never met in person, you know what I mean? But these are people that you meet, they can become friends, like real friends, but you have to invest in the conversations. And then you have to, take the time to learn and remember and all that stuff. So that's where the CRMs can help you. People are always asking me, how can you have 30,000 connections on LinkedIn and really engage with them all? I can't, right? So when someone says, well, okay, well, how many of them do you actually engage with on a regular basis? It's more than 1,000. And I can tell you a lot of things about a lot of people, partly because I've been a sales professional for a very long time, right?
Yeah, I think that, I tell my team a lot of times is to be building their network. That's one of the hardest things. That's actually why a lot of people don't succeed in multi-level marketing, is because they want to sell to their friends and family, and their friends and family are only going to buy so much. So you got to meet new people, and not to be one of those people, especially on social media, that now I'm messaging you as soon as you friend request me. Build that friendship, build that relationship, get to know people. And, as you're saying that, I thought of actually a guy I went to high school with. We're connected on Facebook, and I've seen him posting. He loves hockey, and I know his favorite hockey team.
Talking about Jeff?
No.
Not Bishop?
No.
Because Bishop likes hockey and he likes the Sharks too.
Yeah. But he's also friends with him. And so when we had an NHL release, and so I try to think, okay, who are those people that I know and he'd actually bought some like car bars for me before, but never bought a warmer. And I messaged him, showed him the picture, and he said, okay, you got me. You finally got me. And it's been really cool. We've been friends for a long time, known him for over 20 years because our marriage is over that. And, he's in love with the products now. I mean, he's like a week after getting it, he's buying more scents. He's like, oh my gosh, this is so much better than
sometimes the
anything else I
husbands
had.
buy more than the wives.
I've had a couple of them. Yeah. So, but if I didn't know him, and if I was only ever worried about selling to people, I wouldn't know what might interest them. Do I have a Disney fan or, those types of things? And it's hard. It's hard, especially I'm so scattered all the time, and I don't get to sit and just concentrate on that. I've got kids asking me for help for, school and this and that.
Yep.
So I'm not as great at it as him, but I try.
I don't know. I think we're different. We definitely, we different. One of the reasons why I wanted to have my wife on the show is I think that she's way better at Facebook than me. I struggle with how to really use Facebook for my business. And this is one of the reasons why. And actually, I was going to talk about this. When someone starts in the MLM and they only want to sell their friends and family, and this happens in every business, your family has known you for a long time. They don't think of you as an expert in Scentsy or marketing, right? Because I was a printer sales rep for 20 years. Most of my family will give me a tip of the nod that I'm an expert in printing. Some of them maybe not still. I don't know. But I can tell you this. They certainly probably don't consider me an expert in social media management or video creation or photography or any of these things. Even though I'm a professional at them and I get paid by companies to do these things. You know what I mean? I think the longer that you're in business and you're doing it and they see success, like I've been able to feed my family for the past 7 months without, borrowing any money, or we've actually had more money, frankly, than maybe ever. But your immediate family, it takes time, and your friends, the longer they've known you, to see that, I hate to use the word pivot because it's an overused word, but that transition, right? So in a lot of cases, I think it's easier to deal with people that aren't as close, that aren't related, that haven't known you as long. There are people who have never known me not to be an owner of Bowman Digital Media because they've only known me for 7 months or less, right? Or most of you have never known me before Project Help You Grow, even though my wife and I could tell you that was a huge transition in our life. And a lot of people were like, what the hell are you doing with this, Ira? You know what I mean? I'm not in the HR space. I'm not, I wasn't that guy. I learned a lot about all of it. SEO, HR, helping people find jobs. I learned a ton because I'm a nerd about all that because of Project Help You Grow. And frankly, that's what helped me build my network. But before that, if you had asked anybody, who's better at social media? including me or her, I would have said her. You know what I mean? That was just three plus years ago.
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing with the family, sometimes it's in here too.
Yeah, there's definitely some of it.
Because I can tell you, I have a harder time on my team now. I've had my sister on the team for a couple of years, I think now, and his brother has joined the team. And I feel more awkward trying to lead them than other people.
A stranger, yeah. Although I don't. My daughter's my intern. I treat her just like I would anyone else.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta do.
Yeah. But I don't know. I there's a little mental hang up, and it's like, I don't know how they're going to receive this. You know, like even it's funny because like I was sending out some Happy Mail because I try to encourage my team.
That's what we call Happy Mail. Not Happy Meal.
Happy Mail.
Mail.
Or sometimes I call it Sent Mail too. But I, try to send out little encouraging things sometimes to my team. And so I was like, that's sort of weird doing it like to my sister. Like, I'm so glad to have you on my team. It's like, well, or even like the Christmas cards.
And you're the
like,
young one, and you're the young one too. That might matter.
Yeah, I'm the baby of 6 kids. So,
well, how do you feel about sending it to my brother?
I still feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, because he's more, well, and truthfully, a lot of people on my team are more than just on my team too, because we've developed a good friendship and those types of things. But and selling to my family and stuff, a lot of my family still hasn't bought.
Well, my very first client for Bowman Digital Media was Joe Stepke. He was on the phone with me the minute I got furloughed because we're friends. And so
we appreciate that.
Business doesn't have to be mutually exclusive from friendships and family. We are not advocating that at all. We've had successful transitions, but certainly I talk with Joe like I do, my brother, and my accountant is my brother's life partner, right? So I talk to them differently than I would if I had they were only a business relationship, right? But I don't know. So maybe it is more in your mind than mine, but I still think that people see me differently, my family, than strangers. And, I've never really thought about it from that perspective. Maybe it's in my head. So I'm going to have to rethink about that because maybe that will change some of it.
I pretty much a lot of times default that it's in my head. Not to say anything about me, but,
let's not go there.
I can have some little hang-ups.
All right.
And confidence issues. Let's just say.
Let's have some fun. Every episode, we're going to do a Scentsy segment. And what we're going to do is we're going to just do product spotlight or promotion spotlight or something to that effect. So they have a new line. It's usually spring and winter, right? Spring and fall. What am I doing wrong?
We have winter, fall, or fall, winter, and then spring, summer.
That's what it is. Okay. And I have dyslexia, so I mess this crap up all the time, but I knew it was twice a year. So right now is fall, winter.
Right now is the last month of fall, winter. We're getting ready for our release of our spring, summer. So I will start teasing some of those products soon. I'm actually getting, like Joe, you'll be getting some little scented stickers in the mail. You know what? I need a picture of that though. Is Joe scratch and sniffing?
We did a video when he got Iron Man. We did a video with Joe. It was a lot of fun, and I co-branded it, so I had Joe the Finance Guy stuff in there, and I had Scentsy stuff. It was a lot of fun. But anyways, so maybe we'll do that again.
So I'm getting that stuff out to my customers so they know what's coming. And but right now we actually, along with our biannual,
that's an awesome
catalog.
Comment. Look at that comment, Kenneth. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of fun. Thank you very much for that comment. Joe's a sport, man. I can't think of a time where I asked Joe to do something for me, even if it was awkward, and he wouldn't.
Yeah, there's just something funny though, because I think of Joe as sort of a more.
He's like a brother.
Well, but a man's man.
Oh, he's a man's man.
This
guy has a full-on, head to toe, gloves, everything, Batman.
Yeah.
My junior is.
He wants it.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
now I picture him like a second grader, like scratching stickers.
Oh, Joe will get into it. Joe has an imagination, and he's not afraid to have fun.
Anyways, but besides those two seasons that we have, We have special releases all the time.
All the time. Because they have
All
deals
the
with
time.
all these organizations that are major. Like they have an agreement with the NFL, the NHL, the NBA?
No, not NBA.
MLB. Yes.
Yeah.
Baseball, football, hockey.
Disney,
which is
and their entities, Star Wars, all that stuff.
I have a Darth Vader warmer right behind me, and I have a new Darth Vader chair. If you can see it, if you can't see it, it's the helmet.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways.
Yeah, and so all the and then we do have the with Iron Man and Spider-Man and
the Marvel.
There we go.
Joe, are you proud of me, buddy? I said it. And the other one is DC. Golly, he's getting in my brain.
We don't have DC, and I doubt we'll ever get.
No, but I'm saying that I know there's two major comic.
That's something we've learned, I think, this year, because I don't know that.
Joe taught me.
Yeah. Well, the kids have been teaching me.
He laughs at me because I don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm learning, Joe. You're a good teacher.
The kids laugh at me. But right now, we're about to.
I thought the chair was the helmet from Spaceballs. Yeah, that works too.
But this week, we launched a new line, and I actually didn't adjust this, so I can't. But it comes.
Can you see it?
It doesn't really show up.
Yeah, you might have to turn a little bit or something. Sometimes if you like, just change the angle.
Oh.
Here's what's going on, guys. Just in case you're curious, we are sitting in front of 3 screens. These 2 are large screens. This one's the mega screen because I'm blind and I design graphics for a living, so it's really big. But it's like sitting in front of the sun. Like, anyways,
it's a little sleep mask, and you can't see. There's actually little eyelashes and stuff, and it's Scentsy.
She reads at bedtime when I'm trying to sleep, and sometimes
and so does your iPhone. Your iPhone is very bright.
iPhone is
very bright. And so it comes with this, and that's because our new collection is called Catching Z's.
Booyah!
And so it comes with 5 different scents.
You know what we should do? We should find the link on here. Oh, it's just right
there. It's on the home page. There's a shop now. So it comes with 5 different scents. And truthfully, from COVID, I still can't smell very good, but I've been able to smell a little bit. And some of them have had like a little bit of a citrusy smell. They're all supposed to be like relaxing type of scents. So sorry, I gotta put my old lady glasses on.
She's old. She's my old lady.
But we have Lights Out, and it has relaxing sandalwood, sweet vanilla, warm amber. We have Pillow Time, which is blue tansy, is tucked in with silk blossoms and calming passion flower. We have Shut Eye, which is fuzzy peach, jasmine, and a touch of cedar to harmonize on a fragrant lullaby. Who writes this?
So it sounds kind of cheesy, but here's the deal. It's the new line. If you want to check it out, let me smell them. So this is the fun part about Scentsy is
I like that one, I think. It's like I said, it's
your nose is broken. What are you talking about?
I know. So is my taste buds. I over salted stuff the other day by a lot.
It's kind of good. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of dryer sheets.
Yeah, they're going to be more of the clean. That's Snuggle Up, and that's cashmere woods with lavender. So yeah, a little more.
I've got the links.
This is Catching Z's. Oh, that one smells good too. I think Shut Eye.
It's the link to what you're seeing on the screen is there in the comments.
There's got the peach in there.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. I'm down with that one. You know, it's funny though. Sometimes when you warm them, they do smell a little different. So
yeah. Oh, that's pretty.
Okay, which one is this one?
This is Pillow Time, and it's blue tansy.
I like the name.
Silk blossoms and passion flower.
Pillow Time goes straight with the show topic. Adults in the room, you'll understand. Kids, you shouldn't be watching the show. Yeah.
Oh, this one I like.
I'm not so much on the Pillow Time, actually. I like the name though.
This is the Lights Out. And so like anything with vanilla, I tend to like. Oh, yeah. But if you don't like vanilla, I've got a couple customers, they don't like vanilla, so they wouldn't like this one.
I like this one the best so far. So Catching Z's.
Lights Out.
It's called Lights Out is my favorite one. And then my second favorite one is the Snuggle Up so far.
And then there's Sleep Happy.
So there's 5 total new ones.
Yeah. And so that one's violet, bergamot, and musk.
Yeah.
And
so I tend to like all the musks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's my favorite one. So
that comes in a collection, and if you buy the whole collection, you get this. Now here's the other cool thing though, is if one of those scents doesn't sound good.
Is that $30 or is that
this more? Is $28. Okay.
And you get the mask for $20?
And you get the mask.
Wow.
But if you want to create your own bundle because you're like, oh, I'm not gonna like this or that, you can go to the bundle and saves, and everything, all of our wax right now is 10% off.
Ooh.
So you can build a bundle and still get great savings there.
We got some people that are right along there with me. Oh my God, this sounds so sexy. Thank you, Kenneth. And Joe Stepke's never going to let me down. Pillow time, Joe After Dark. I like it. Well, we have our show tomorrow morning, bro. So just saying. I don't know what we're talking about, but it might be after dark. I do want to say this too. First, I'm going to verify. But okay, so then when they have these special releases, they don't always last forever.
No.
You know what I mean? But you join the Scentsy Club, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scentsy Club. If you fall in love with one of these, if you join the Scentsy Club, you can order it whenever you want, even after they discontinue it.
Well, it's sort of. So
this is why I clarified.
So yes, sometimes we have a product. We've had things sell out in minutes. Usually that's some Disney collection type thing.
Usually.
But if a scent does sell out, even for that whole month, they will let you add it to a Scentsy Club subscription. And with the Scentsy Club subscription, then you can decide how often you want it to ship. Once every month, 2 months, or 3 months, and how much. And you can edit it a bit. But the great thing about Scentsy Club is if a scent does discontinue, which limited time offers, those will discontinue, they will continue to make that scent for you. Even if you're the only person in the whole wide world that loved that scent, they will continue making that scent. So especially like right now, we're getting ready to discontinue our fall scents. I'm telling a lot of my customers that love some of those fall scents, hey, get it in your Scentsy Club, because if you want it in the summertime, then you can still get it. Or we don't always know what scents are going to come back next fall.
Right. Bring back my bar.
Even though it may have been in the catalog for the last 5 years, they may decide to discontinue it.
Weathered leather?
No, they brought it back.
God
because Texas, I think, rebelled. They were about
we're about to secede from the union. Bro.
But then they can continue to get it even next fall. And so I've done that with some of my favorites as well, and some of the Disney specials and stuff. So we have our own Scentsy Club subscription. So
we cool like that.
We cool. But you can add all sorts of stuff to it.
Yeah.
So, and you can then save money on shipping and different things. So even if you want to add some cleaning products or laundry, any consumable products, you can't add warmers to it.
We use a lot of the cleaning products. I actually really like the cleaning products. We talked about me doing dishes last time, and I like soap. You know, it's funny. I don't know what it is. I've been getting more suds lately than I was for a while. I don't know, different bottle, or maybe
it's a different scent. Maybe one was scented.
But I was thinking, I think sometimes I fill the sink up with the main thing, so it's just one big, drop, and other times I fill it up with the head spread out.
Oh,
y'all follow me what I'm saying?
We have the adjustable nozzle.
The jets versus just So I think I've been doing it lately with the jet, and so it's more surface area. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna keep doing that.
You like the suds?
I like suds.
He likes bubble baths.
I don't know. You can count on one hand how many times I've taken a bath in the last 20 years. Not a shower. I shower.
You like hot tubs, though.
I do like hot tubs. I like it hot.
See, and I'm like getting
the problem with that's the problem with the tub is we did have a tub with a jet, and
you never got in
it. I never used it. One time in our life, I was like, yes, I'm finally gonna take. But you know what it was? So, the tub wasn't that big.
You would have been fine in there. It was big. The problem is, I used to love baths when I was younger. I've become too high strung.
She's asking about Scentsy Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll find out. Okay.
Yeah. But now I get in the tub and I'm like, now what? What am I supposed to, I'm too klutzy to bring a book or my phone.
Oh yeah, no, phones are not going near the water.
And so I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just gonna sit here and there's stuff to be done. You know what?
You put on your sleepy time mask.
I guess. I don't know. And then my husband comes and throws a toaster and we'll know it's coming.
No, I can't live without you.
Aw. He just means it because he wants me to cook and take care of the kids. But
true story. Strive for none. Yeah, and we're coming up on the end of the show. So we'll be back next week. Look, I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's not a scripted thing. Like I said, we have really three things that we're going to always kind of be talking about, one or the other. It's going to be about our raising the kids stuff. It's going to be about the Scentsy MLM stuff, or it's going to be just social media in general stuff. You can always ask me questions about how to network or anything that you want to know about, parenting or being married for 20 years, or what is it like to be married to Ira? God help us. We're telling those stories. That's the entertainment part. So the anecdotes, but we're here to entertain. We're here to educate, and it's a way I get to spend time with my wife. So it's cool. So hope y'all like it. We are going to bounce out now. And next week, we will talk about the 27. We'll tell the 27 story.
So stupid.
Because the 27 story, and Robbie, she got in right before the blast. She was a lot of fun last week. So,
Yeah.
So Robbie, I think that we want to get you on the show here eventually too. But I'm trying to get Jen and Joe Stepke from Indianapolis, Indiana, on as our first guests, because I think that could be kind of fun too, right? Have other married couples on the show. Could be kind of fun. And Kenneth, you have been awesome, my friend. So thank you for joining in and hanging out with us. Mr. Stepke, it's not good night for us, bro. It's 6:00. We're going to go eat leftovers. Friday night is now
Must go night.
Must go, which we could tell that story later, why we call it must go, or pizza night. And
Pizza sounds
Joe, I'll see you in the morning. If you guys like this unscripted show, Joe and I have this perfected in the mornings. I drink coffee, and Joe sometimes drinks coffee. But anyways, last week we talked about Cobra Kai. We won't be talking about that. I promise we won't be talking about politics tomorrow either. What are we going to talk about? Only Joe and I know, and we don't even know. But it's a show about nothing. However, if you have suggestions or if you want to
Isn't Seinfeld a show about nothing? Is that what that
That's
was?
where we stole that from. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I look like that fat, short, bald guy.
Newman?
No, not Newman. The other one.
Oh,
Not Seinfeld, but his buddy.
Yeah, Costanza.
Yeah.
No,
Anyways.
I would not marry Costanza.
Really?
Sorry. You looked like Jason Priestley back then. So.
Yeah, that was bait and switch. We can talk about that too. Anyways. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. We'll talk to y'all later.
All.